There's a lot of unsupported claims about languages being related that probably aren't, but how do we know if languages are related? The simple answer would be if they're pretty similar, but it's actually not as helpful of an answer as you'd think. That's because there's a lot of ways that languages can be similar without having a common origin. For instance, there's nothing preventing two completely unrelated languages from borrowing each other's words. And over centuries, this can make them look more similar on a surface level. And it's not just that they'll have similar words. Language context can make languages sound more similar and even share grammatical characteristics. Now I know what you're thinking. Then how do we ever know if two languages are related or if they've just influenced one another? Well, there's certain aspects of languages that are very resistant to change. And when they do change, they usually change in regular ways that follow rules that we can track. Some examples of traits like this are numbers and kinship terms. For instance, it's no coincidence that English father and Spanish padre have the same meaning and a similar sound. But what's more important is that there's tons of kinship terms and numbers between English and Spanish that have similar patterns. For instance, the F in English father lines up with the P in Spanish padre, just like the F in English fish lines up with the P in Spanish pescado. These regular sound changes support that the languages are related because we can see consistent correlations between them. So it's not enough to just say that two languages have similar sounds, similar grammar, and some shared words, and that means they're related. They need correlations between their core vocabulary based on regular sound changes. That's not saying these correlations are always simple, but you do need to do the work to establish them. And sure, over really large time spans, even this core vocabulary can change a ton too. But that doesn't mean we lower our bar for evidence and just say that any slight similarities mean languages are related. If you can't establish a connection, it doesn't mean your theory's wrong, it just means we have no reason to believe it's right.